have you bartended since? Like, you've just
Nah,
been focused on this, right? Yeah, that's great, man.
full on 100%, 7 days a week, just enjoying the business.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You're thriving. That's amazing. Yeah.
it's great. Yeah, absolutely love it. I'll still make, still drink at home a little bit, but
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
no, it's been really rewarding. It's now been 2 years, nearly 3 years. Jax has been full time self-employed, and I've been for 2 years full
That's
time
great.
employed without needing a side hustle.
Well,
Um,
everyone has a side hustle here and there.
yeah, yeah,
I think what really shines with you and Jax is that, like, a lot of people fear going 100%. A lot of people fear just going with taking a chance, because
yeah,
you can have the 9 to 5, you could have those hustle jobs, but to really go all in into something that you really want to do, that's scary for a lot of people. But
yeah,
I think what it is like you have to really just be passionate about it, and
yeah,
I see that passion in all your Instagram posts. I see that passion with all your product. I see it, like I could see it from, like, the work you put in your clothes. So I think that's really benefited you and Jax in
yeah.
your company, because also that's like multiplied by two. So that's something
Oh yeah,
that's really great. You're like this, like, fashion power couple. So
yeah.
kudos to you guys for having this just great, not only like marriage chemistry, but like working chemistry. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
Um,
We literally spend sometimes like 5 days a week sitting at the same desk
yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
And
I've
I'm
had,
so grateful for that, because it's just like having that partner in crime is so beneficial. And there's
yeah,
a lot of where we're at. I'm like, I don't know if I ever would have got to a point like this if I ever did anything alone.
yeah.
Uh, which says a lot about, I'm just grateful for our relationship, and that I met Jax, and that we can do this together, and all of that. Because when I think I see other people, I've got other friends that are really successful, not in fashion, but like fitness trainers, and
Mhm.
they're on the grind 100% by themselves. And
Yeah.
I've just got another level of respect for that, to have
Mhm.
that self motivation where you
Yeah.
don't have someone to, push back at, I guess.
The grass is always greener, because
Yeah, yeah. I
how long have you and Jax been together? But prior to your marriage?
think we're probably coming up 6 years, five and a
Yeah,
half, 6 years.
that's great. I
Yeah,
mean, just from knowing you guys for the long as I have, like, you both have. I see a lot, being a wedding DJ, I see lots of couples. You see different types of relationships. Some people are like snarky at each other. Some people, like, you can tell, some people are like they're just going through the motions.
yeah,
And like they literally don't like each other. But like with you and Jax, I always got a sense that you guys are partners, and it almost reminds me of my brother and his wife, where like everything they do is like it's cohesive. It's not just like, well, I want to do this. Like, this is more important. Like it's kind of like just almost copacetic. That word, yeah, yeah, that works.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's very copacetic that you guys like continue to support each other and like work together. And I'm sure there are times where you guys have your hard days and stuff. But I think your product and your company speaks for itself. That you and Jax have come to this great combination of work ethic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because
It's
it's easy for any, because you hear people complain really like, oh, fucking Bobby didn't do the dishes, or like, oh, he's not getting a job. And it's like, you hear these stories, but like with you and Jack, it's like you both were like just supporting each other and just like, making this happen, because it's not easy to start your own business. Like, let's be very clear here, it's very difficult to start your own business. And even right now, probably really right now, it's even worse. But like,
yeah,
you planned a wedding, like, you moved, like, you did all this stuff. Like, I can't imagine doing all that stuff on my own. So
yeah,
it must be great to have a partner for that.
totally, totally. It's definitely yeah. It's always appreciated. And like you said, like Jax and I do get along. Like I can't imagine not having Jax in my life. Like every step of every little decision or every little thing that we've been through in the last few years has just been unbelievably amazing. Just to
Yeah.
have Jax, and I'm always grateful that I met her and that we have each other, and to not only have like that love connection, but to have like the creativity and then the business
Yeah.
connection, and You know, as much as I think that we've both somewhat bounced and manifested our goals and dreams back and forth so that they've become our own big one goal and dream, you know, they've kind of meshed to become one thing. Like, I think a lot of that already existed before we had each other, and it's just sort of like being able to grow together, which is really cool.
Has there ever been a moment in you know the business that you and Jax like didn't see eye to eye, or had to make compromises, or like you're like that's a bad idea, or she was like maybe we should do this? Like, was there any moment where like maybe you guys did conflict just a little bit?
Not necessarily, but we do have those moments. Not like a specific example that can jump to mind, but we have those moments nearly every day.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely have to. And I think we've learned how to talk things out a little bit and work out and think about stepping aside of certain instances and seeing it from taking the ego out of the situation and thinking about it from either the business's perspective or a customer's perspective.
Okay.
Which is sometimes hard for me because I don't want to be wrong, and Jax doesn't like to ever be wrong. And yeah, there's definitely that, and there's definitely fire sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, if you know anything about horoscopes to believe anything into that, we're both Sagittarius with birthdays quite close together. It was her birthday last week and my birthday next week. So
happy birthday, man. Yeah. If I get a chance to say it to you. Is there also like a bit of a culture clash too, like with your your upbringing and her being California? Is she from California or is she from?
Yeah, she's from California.
Oh, she's from California. Okay, California girl, Aussie guy. And if it ever conflicts,
Not really, not anything cultural like that. No, yeah. I think we're both grateful to come from fantastic families. You know, I love her family and she loves mine, and vice versa. Yeah. And I think that we both have a certain level of similarities as well. Like, she grew up surfing, I grew up surfing by the beach. Mm-hmm. You know, she's Mexican. I love Mexican food.
There you go. That's all you need. All you need.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so not really at all. There, one of the biggest things about like coming into cultures and stuff like that I just find I found super attractive to Jax is that she was a girl that when we first met picked me up in this old beaten up pickup truck with a surfboard and a skateboard in the back. And
that's a Cali girl right there. Yeah.
Compared to, I was living in Costa Mesa and around Newport Beach and that area a little bit before we'd met, and it was kind of like
shots fired.
What sort of credit cards that in your pocket, and what sort of car do you drive?
Yeah.
So to
me, we all know them.
Yeah. And she's from a small town, and I think where I grew up was probably considered a small town. So culturally, similarities, and she loves music culture too. Like, there's a lot of the Aussie culture that Jax just really appreciates. I think there's similarities, but I think there's differences when it comes to, there's a saying that Aussies live, Americans work to live and Aussies live to work, vice versa.
No. Americans live to work, Aussies work to live, right? Is that
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, we get, traditionally Australians get nearly 4 times as much paid leave, like up to 4 weeks paid leave,
less stress probably too,
and stuff like that. So culturally and business and ethically and stuff like that, Jax has definitely got some love for the Australian. Eventually, there's definitely a chance that we would like to live there and spend time in Hawaii and get a balance of both.
I mean, the way your company's looking and you're branching out, like you could live on two places. Like, that's completely plausible, I think, with you guys.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a foot in a lot of places. Does she dig on Vegemite? Is that something she's into?
Very much.
Oh, she does. Okay, all right.
No.
Oh, she doesn't.
she tried meat pies. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Kangaroo, my buddies force fed her, and she wasn't heaps into kangaroo. But
What does kangaroo taste like? Is it like beef
honestly,
or is
I've
it?
never eaten. I'm a vegetarian,
Oh, okay, okay,
and so I've heard that it's very gamey. I've heard that it's probably
okay.
some sort of deer or something. It's just
Like
lean,
it's
gamey.
probably game meat. That's why I imagine because they're like they're muscular. They're really
Yeah, they're
yeah
nothing but eating muscles.
yeah
So,
they look like Zac Efron and like
yeah,
fucking Baywatch. Like
Baywatch.
yeah, I've seen some cut kangaroos. Like
Oh yeah.
I love animals, but I don't fuck with animals. You know, like I will watch an animal from a distance, but I will not like pet the kangaroo. No, I'm good. Like that kangaroo kicked my ass. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned in your promo about a percentage of your shirts are going towards giving clothing to needy children, correct?
Yes. So
You want
we
to explain that?
started, yeah. So that's sort of like a few parts to that. We started working with a really, really fantastic company based on the mainland, and they're a corporate gifting company, and they're called Wet Paint Group. So they do corporate gifting for big companies that'll send all their staff on like incentive trips, or it's um, they do every sort of product from sunglasses to footwear to jackets. And recently, we met them a couple of years ago, and we've been working with them, and they're a fantastic client. We absolutely love them. They've been so supportive of us. But a big thing for them was every product that they have, they do a give back. So Revo has a fantastic give back, and they're one of their biggest products they're giving away. And we'd always talked about it, and we never really knew what the right thing to do to sort of incorporate in our products would be. And then, spot on a year ago, we met Zach and Tanya, who live here on Maui, and they started a nonprofit called Village of Hope Maui, which is totally a support system for foster kids. And what they do is,
Really great.
foster kids will go into homes and they'll show up with nothing except for maybe a toothbrush and some clean underpants, and they're carrying around in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
And so Village of Hope have created what's called a journey bag, and it's everything that a kid needs before it goes to a foster home.
Wow.
Clean clothing, a water bottle, soap, toiletry, some toys.
Yeah.
And if you go to villageofhopemaui.com, you can see exactly what's going into these journey bags for these kids here in Hawaii.
That's great.
We'd always sort of dabbled in the idea of it, and we really wanted to do some sort of give back. Spreading some of the love that we've gotten. So we met as soon as we met them, and they were telling us all about what they've built and created and their stories. We were just like, this is a no-brainer. Like, we have the ability to manufacture clothing, and why not?
That's great.
Perfect. That's such a good thing to be able to, it's rewarding for us, and more importantly, it helps them out. So
that's awesome, man. I'm such an advocate for children, and I used to volunteer at Chalk, and I DJ'd for a foster care organization. But there are a lot of kids who are just stuck in the foster care system, and they're just being moved around, and it's so sad, and it's not their fault. It's just a matter of of what's going on in their life and whatnot. So it's great that you provide that service, because you don't think because when they move house, you don't think they need these things because they're just being moved because they need to be moved for whatever reason. I imagine must be something very comforting to have this package of here are some things that you could just hold on to, so that when you're in this new house, you can have just a sense of your own things. So
totally.
it's really cool.
At least some clean clothes, and so yeah. Yeah, we only just sort of started doing this, and you know, pre-COVID, we sort of talked about doing some events with them and stuff like that, and and everything's been put on hold. So now at least we can do is start to get a collection of clean t-shirts for them, given out to kids. So, but if anyone else wants to help, just go straight to Village of Maui.
Okay.
Villageofhopemaui.com.
All right.
We'll just get involved there, donate, and that'll help purchase any products that they need.
Well, we'll definitely post it on my page and stuff. It's great that you're in that. It's great that you're making moves too, and like it's something in the back of my mind that's like, you know, I don't have a business of my own yet, but like when I get things moving, and you know, I do want to give back too, so that kind of inspires me to just always keep that in mind. Like, I volunteer, I still volunteer, and I still do things like that. But the big dream is to, you know, really just help some sort of organization that you know, that can help kids. Like that's one of the big things that I'm really a proponent for. So I'm really, thank you for doing that for those kids, because I've met these children. Like I've talked to them, and I got to experience those stories. So it's not easy, and a lot of it's, you know, because they're just, it's not their fault. It's not their fault, and they're just in this situation where either a parent's went missing or a parent is neglective, you know, and it really makes you reflect and makes you want to help and give back. So
it's about luck, and you know, the more support that these kids can get, the better.
Yeah, we'll put that info in the everywhere down here.
Perfect. We actually like you know, everything that's happening. I want to learn more. I want to get more hands on and get involved with all of this too. Like I feel like we're coming in from a little bit of uneducation in terms of everything that these guys are actually doing. So, you know, we can help only so much by actually handing them some t-shirts, but I'm really excited to be able to dive in, learn more, and help them out more. So.
But dude, thank you so much for your time. I want to have you, let's have you back on soon in the future. You know what? I love to talk to Jax. Like, let's see if Jax ever wants to jump on. I'd love to talk to her a little more about this stuff and get her side from a female perspective of building business. Before we end this, I want to ask you for any new business owner, any new person who's jumping into an endeavor they're unsure of. Like, what advice do you want to give someone who maybe wants to start their own business or even start their own fashion line? Like, what advice would you give them?
Do it. You know, if you
actually that's copyrighted, so I can't say that. That's
and you really, there's really two important things, and this is I'm really inspired by this one author called Hal Elrod. He's got a book called The Miracle Morning, and then he's got another book called The Miracle Equation. And you know, his biggest thing is you really only need two things in order to succeed. You need unwavering faith and belief in yourself that you can do something, and then you just need to put forth extraordinary effort, and then you can achieve anything. So to preach that, I just believe in that. I'm like, if you really, really want to do something, just do it, but do it from a sensible place too. Like, don't just go and quit your job and borrow a bunch of money from the bank and invest into a product that you don't know is going to work or people are going to dig. Like, working on the business in between having side hustles to pay the rent, never having to borrow extraordinary amounts of money and getting ourselves into debt, like growing, you know, always growing at a point that we could manage, and, you know, never taking on too much risk that it became stressful, really. I just think, just do it. Like, follow your dream. Make sure that it's a dream. And then also make sure that dream and that passion is something that you can turn into something that it can support your lifestyle. Like, that was a big one for us, is I knew that I never wanted a 9 to 5 and to work for anyone, and Jax was the same. Like, we always wanted to be our own bosses. We always had creativity, so you found something that, you know, you could be creative. Just if things line up in a way that that you want them to and that you really believe will, then it's going to work. You just got to have that belief in yourself and just do it, you know. And like I said, just do it in a sensible way where you're not going to go like that job that's paying your mortgage.
Yeah.
Start working on the business those few hours of the day and just get up a little bit earlier or whatever it is. You know, that's my advice. But just do it. Take risks without taking too big of a risk.
With caution. No, for sure.
With a little bit of caution and just follow the dreams, because you know, I've got so much gratitude for where Jax and I have become, you know, where we've ended up in the last 2 years. And, you know, we're on the better end of keeping our business floating through a pandemic, you know, based in an area that relies heavily on tourism without tourism. But we kept grinding every day 9 to 5 as if it still was business as usual. And I guess we also thought about where our business is going to be in 5 years' time, not necessarily where our business needs to be now in order to survive. It's just, you know, you just got to look forward and keep doing things.
That's great, man. I hope that your message resonates with somebody, and like it does with me completely. You know, like
I hope so.
No, dude, everything you're doing, it's not only am I proud of you, but it does inspire me to just keep going and doing.
Thanks, mate.
Because like, if you can do it, you know, and I feel like that sounds wrong. Like if you can do it. But you know what I'm saying, like, because like you and I, like you're a peer, you're a friend, and like we come from the same cloth, although we have different lives. We're both. Sometimes you kind of put these business owners on a big pedestal, you know. And like when I see you just when I saw you, like your little in-house studio in your apartment and all the stuff that you're making, I was like, wow, like you're like literally doing this from your house, you know, and it looks good. So it's one of those things where like you can take those opportunities and you can make something out of it, you know.
Thank you.
So completely, I applaud you and Jax for doing what you love and doing what you're passionate about. And if there's anything I preach to anybody is just do what you're passionate about. Live your life with passion, because passion's always it's going to make you happy. And if you have true passion, you'll succeed with it. And that's what I've always believed.
I 100% agree with that. It won't ever feel like you're working too hard when you're passionate about something.
Yeah,
you
totally
know,
agree. Yeah.
Your hardest times will never be miserable times if you're passionate about, you know, about the business or growing your dreams.
Yeah, but I think you and I we're just happy not to be serving or bartending anymore. So. I can do that on my own time. I can make my own drinks. I can serve my own tables.
Exactly. Let someone else take my drinks.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. We're gonna. I want Jax to be on eventually too, and give me contact with your friend if he wants to promote.
I will. Yeah, BillyHopeMaui.com.
I want to do as much as I can to help other charities without having to like go anywhere, just because we can't right now. So if I could just preach and tell people like, hey, help these kids out, this is where you can go, I will gladly do that. So Sean, thank you so much, buddy, for being on Unplugged. I want to have you on again, and maybe be less serious, be more fun. We can do some more fun stuff. But
I'll have a cocktail.
I had a great time hearing about your story of how you started the business and catching up with you. So dude, take care. I want to really just be safe. You and Jax, just be careful, and I want, hopefully we'll see each other soon. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If there's anything last that you want to promote before we end this, please do it now.
Billy Aloha, Jaxsea.com. We just got a puppy. That's it.
Okay, yeah. Get a puppy. It'll help your mental health. Yeah. It's been me, Katar, and Sean Taylor with Billy Aloha. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, be safe, be kind, be you, and we'll see you guys. Thanks.